What's going on, guys? This is Kento from T1G, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about the new Ubisoft game called The Crew. For those of you who may never heard of this title, it's a new racing game developed by Ivory Tower and Ubisoft Reflections, who have worked on titles such as Need for Speed, Driver, and Test Drive Unlimited. The game is set in a completely open world environment, meaning you can drive from coast to coast without any loading screens once in-game, a lengthy 20-hour campaign that you can do alone, with random people, or even with your friends. And what's more, is that this world they have created is a very detailed representation of the United States. Now, I'm pretty picky about my racing games. Before Need for Speed Underground, I never really truly enjoyed a racing game. But that game though, that game was straight up fun. I'd gotten really spoiled with customization and the various races from that game, which made it hard from then on to find other racing titles that I enjoyed. Being primarily an online gamer because of my desire to play with friends made it even harder. There were two games that I've played before The Crew that I could closely compare the game to, which is Drift City and Need for Speed World. Drift City is a Korean-made game originally named Skid Rush, which came out in 2007. Like The Crew and Need for Speed World, it was designed to also be a multiplayer open-world racing game. Unfortunately, that was the only part I liked about it. Drift City had definitely gone with an extremely arcadey feel with the game. There were power-ups that allowed you to become invincible to blast other cars out the way, some to make you go extremely fast, and others that gave you both of these effects. It was basically like playing an online version of Mario Kart. Now, before I continue, I'm not saying that this is bad. I'm simply spoiled by the mechanics of Need for Speed Underground and was looking for games of similar style. The next game I tried out is Need for Speed World. This being another Need for Speed title made me excited, thinking that I was finally going to be getting my hands on an online version of Need for Speed Underground. I was very wrong. This game was very similar to Drift City in the power-up field. In fact, I would actually say Need for Speed World was worse, with the sheer amount of power-ups that you could obtain. I just wanted to race, not pray that I run over the best power-ups so I can skip to first place. So anyway, skip forward a couple of years and here comes The Crew. After hearing it announced at E3 and having beta signups available, I pulled up with the website and signed right up along with a few of my friends. Because of the previous titles, I had kept my expectations in check. I was prepared for power-ups and weird driving mechanics that would play the game, but this game had definitely delivered. Just straight, high-octane racing. So as stated earlier, this game is completely open world. Here's the awesomely designed map showcasing the various locations that you can travel to. Whoops, too far. Okay, here we go. As you can see, quite a lot of locations. Something I found really cool about the map is you can zoom into an area on the map and actually see the cars driving in that particular location. I tested this with a friend and it's very accurate too. After finding out about the giant map that this game had, I had set out to customize my car and drive across the country as soon as possible. This brings me to the driving mechanics. Once starting the game, after you beat the first couple of missions, you have a selection of 4 different cars to choose from. Once you make enough money, you can head to the dealerships located in different cities to obtain all kinds of different cars. I do have to say that the driving in this game took some getting used to. Hearing that this game had some Need for Speed devs working on it, I expected the driving to be similar. But like every other racing game, the feeling of driving is always different. For this game, the cars definitely felt heavier than some of the other racing titles such as Dirt or Grid. After tweaking around in the control settings page though, I was able to quickly remedy that and have my car power sliding through pretty much anything. It's a great feeling drifting at high speeds around corners while having multiple cars just narrowly miss you. Like other racing titles, this game allows you to choose if you want manual or automatic for gear shifting. I normally prefer manual with these types of games, but as I was primarily playing with the controller, I didn't feel the controls for it were smooth enough for me. To explain further, in other racing games I've played, when you want to switch gears, you can flick the right stick up or down and it would instantly transition to the gear you had in mind. For the crew, for some reason there's a small delay on each change in gear, meaning you can't go from 6th gear to the 1st gear, then reverse in a timely manner. This can be unfortunate in situations where you end up crashing, so to keep things simple for this beta, I mostly stuck to automatic. Sense of speed is another topic that I'd like to quickly go over. In the crew, I felt that the speed that would show on my speedometer didn't feel like the speed I was actually traveling at. I can't really put my finger on it, but it feels like something is off at that part. It sucks because even with how arcadey Drift City was, I remember getting a higher sense of speed out of that game, sadly. Hopefully it's something they will improve upon release. Other than these few nitpicks though, the driving to me was pretty much an A+. So after checking out the driving, I very much needed to check out the customization. Customization in any game is very important to me as I like to see everyone be unique, not be a clone of one another. Luckily, they made some smart choices when including different types of customization for this game. For visuals, you've got your paint jobs with the subcategories of 6 official colors, 58 metallic colors, 29 anodized colors, and 30 iridescent colors. That's a whole 123 colors. If you're a Need for Speed fan, the vinyls are under the stickers category. Like the paint, there are multiple subcategories of the different stickers you can get. Unfortunately, the stickers themselves are yet to be customizable. Would be nice if you could change the shape, size, or color of them on release though. You also have interior color customizations, front bumpers, rear bumpers, front fenders, rear fenders, skirts, side mirrors, spoilers, hoods, and rims, of which for some reason had the most amount of options out of all the parts. For performance, you simply just want to pick the parts that will increase the stats you like. Once you've got your car customized to your liking, you're free to do whatever you want on this giant map. A couple friends and I decided to race from St. Louis, Missouri to Sacramento, California. Even with us gunning it to the waypoint, it still took us over 45 minutes. To pause and put this in perspective, we are traveling this game world at extremely high speeds of 160 miles per hour and up. Traveling from one side of the map to the other in around 45 minutes might not sound like a lot, but imagine if we were able to get out and walk. The average walking speed of a person is 2.8 miles per hour. Just to keep things simple, let's say we were traveling at 100 miles per hour and it still took us 45 minutes to get to Sacramento. If you do the math, it would have taken us 26 hours and 47 minutes to travel from St. Louis to Sacramento by foot. I'm just gonna let that sink in for a bit. Anyway, back on topic, the drive from the previous locations was quite a refreshing experience for a racing game. The world itself feels very alive with herds of wildlife roaming around and other various details that felt very unique. I love how they sprinkled little challenges all over the world. These challenges are activated by running through them on the road and have you doing various stunts like jumping off a ramp, attempting to outrun a circular radar on your map, zigzagging across the road to activate markers, and many more. You get graded on your performance with these challenges by bronze, silver, and gold ranks, and will also be rewarded with parts and cash. I spent a lot of time going through these while I cruised my way across the country. You have to be careful though. Like the Need for Speed titles, the game does have police who will come after you if you cause enough destruction on the roads, and getting arrested means paying up some hard-earned cash. Your best bet? Gotta go fast. Gotta go really fast. Campaign-wise, the game seems pretty solid. You are apparently some dude that looks like a younger Bryan Cranston out on a cliche mission to avenge your brother's death. You have to do various tasks like dirt races through a canyon, outrunning the cops, street races, and even takedowns just to prove how serious you are. Some things that I did not like about the game itself were some of the inevitable beta bugs. Uplay, gear shifting on a controller, Uplay, sense of speed, Uplay, open mic, desyncing, Uplay, and Uplay. Anyways, now that I've talked about all that I can think of, I think the game is pretty solid, even for beta. Not that that means much nowadays. I can imagine that most of these problems will be fixed on launch. If you have the $60 and like racing games, I'd say it's a buy. Just fuck Uplay.